This is the only job that you go out on an appointment and they'll ghost you and you've never gotten paid.
I think it's very important when you get your license to find a team and a brokerage that gives you ample support and ample amount of mentorship. Getting your license doesn't really teach you what it's like to be out in the real world, drafting contracts, negotiating, understanding the inspection period, protecting your clients. So if you don't have somebody that understands all those nuances, you're at risk of risking your clients' monies and finances.
When you have a listing that needs to be accompanied in this market, how many times do you think you're going to meet other agents to show the property?
You give $450 an hour to a lawyer, and you don't even know if your lawyer is going to win you the case. You just pay your lawyer because you're so desperate to win the case. And I feel like that should have the same attitude and the same mindset for a realtor. You need your house sold. You need to buy a house. Why are you sitting here and arguing with me as the professional when I'm here to try to represent you the best that I can? I actually had a friend in Georgia wanting to get her license, and I said, just find the best school with the best ratings. And then after that, my best recommendation is find someone that is a good team leader that's going to mentor you. My best thing I did in my real estate career was you.
Hi everyone, welcome to Making Money with Laura Sanders, and I am your host, Laura Sanders. Every week we talk about something that will help you make a little money, save a little money, or maybe just help you navigate this crazy world that we live in. And oh my goodness, is it crazy? I have to tell you, I can't even make up half the things that happen. So I thought what would be a great show is for agents to see having Amanda Hart with the Laura Sanders team, and she's an up-and-coming agent, to let you know what really goes on in the real estate world. Welcome, Amanda.
Well, thank you for having me, Laura. I appreciate it. Where do you want to begin? Because
we're going to call this the good, the bad, and the ugly.
And the uglies.
So I always say the good is
that you get paid.
Yes, we get paid. And apparently, according to some clients, we get paid too much.
Yes.
But do you know what I think is interesting? This is the only job that you go out on an appointment and they'll ghost you and you've never gotten paid.
Yes, and you have the risk of losing all your monies between marketing, photos, spending time on the gas and miles and going to do your showings.
Right, because they'll sign a listing agreement that has like a cancellation policy in it, right? And how are you going to collect that money? Like, are you really going to put a lien on their house? Are you really going to do that?
No.
Because that's going to cost you more time and money.
And a horrible reputation.
Right. So we have more on the line. You know, like somebody will say to me, you know, oh, well, you know, I don't know. I go, well, what's the worst thing that can happen? I spend money and I don't get paid.
That's the worst thing that can happen.
For
and
me,
you also,
yeah.
And time is money, and you can spend a lot of time on a client and still exhaust all your energy and not get paid at the end of the day.
Yeah. So you've had your real estate license for several years, right?
Yes.
And you went to start to use it.
Yes.
And you went to go work for another agent. So tell us a little bit about that and how that experience was.
I do think you are as good as your leader. The team is only as good as its leader. I think it's very important when you get your license to find a team and a brokerage that gives you ample support and ample amount of mentorship. Getting your license doesn't really teach you what it's like to be out in the real world, drafting contracts, negotiating, understanding the inspection period, protecting your clients. So if you don't have somebody that understands all those nuances, you're at risk of risking your clients' monies and finances.
So I was actually just telling this to a client of mine that he's buying a home with another realtor. He was already working with that realtor, and somebody had recommended for me to sell his home. So I asked him, I said, do you know who's paying the real estate commission on your deal? And he was like, what do you mean? I go, did you sign an agreement with them to see houses? Yeah, I signed something because she said I needed to sign it to legally show me the house. Oh, well, did you know what commission was being paid? No. Do you know if the seller was paying her a commission? No. Okay.
So you have the blind leading the blind, because a lot of the clients don't even know half of the contracts that go out between realtors at all. And so they're at risk of maybe even coming up with a commission if that is not signed or filled out correctly.
Right. When you have a listing that needs to be accompanied in this market, how many times do you think you're going to meet other agents to show the property? In this market. I'm not talking about COVID.
I've already gone to one of my listings 10 times in a matter of just 2 weeks of having it.
Right. So you have to drive there, right?
Yes.
You have to go into a gated community. It takes
Yes.
time to get into it, right?
It takes a lot of time out of my schedule.
So now you got to walk the people through. Are the agents on
And
time?
we're not even factoring the traffic and what's going on during rush hour. And we're not even factoring of
Sundays.
doing things half of the time on the road while I'm trying to send emails. And
We do not email while we're driving, people. Let's just make this clear. This is not good for car insurance.
it's a lot of time that you invest in your client, and you don't even know if you're going to be able to get to a closing table. And the thing is, I heard somebody on the other day on Instagram tell me, you give $450 an hour to a lawyer, and you don't even know if your lawyer is going to win you the case. But you don't sit here and try to debate if you should pay your lawyer less money. You just pay your lawyer because you're so desperate to win the case. And I feel like that should have the same attitude and the same mindset for a realtor. You need your house sold. You need to buy a house. Why are you sitting here and arguing with me as a professional when I'm here to try to represent you the best that I can? And they still think that we get paid way too much.
Right. Well, the thing is they don't even. So if, let's just say you make $20,000 on a deal, how much of that goes to the tax, to the IRS?
A lot, but we also have to factor in the splits.
Broker's commission to the brokerage,
Yep.
right?
If you're an independent agent with a brokerage, or if you're on a team, which I'm on a team, I still had to have my split with you. And then on top of that, I had to have my split with my brokerage. So everybody thinks that we get all this lump sum of change, and they don't understand what goes into it. On top of that, I have to pay myself back with all the marketing that I've done to sell this property. So a lot of people think that you just get up and leave with a nice big
They
check.
think we just put it on the MLS, the multiple listing service, and then we walk off and we just go whatever. I actually have a very streamlined where it's like putting together marketing, showing what we're doing. It's, I utilize systems to keep track. That costs money. And in the end, I laugh because there are people that just literally take the listing, slap it on the MLS and go, reduce your price, reduce your price, reduce your price.
And those people also don't put in the MLS correctly.
No, I actually saw where somebody has it in. It's funny. I've listed 2 homes since that house has gone on the market for more than that home. Put it under contract, 2 different ones under contract within less than a week each one. This one's been on the market for 3 months.
And I think the average public thinks that it's just you put the listing inside the MLS and then bam, done. It's that simple. But they actually don't know what goes on behind the curtains, behind the scenes of how important it is to put your information accurately. So that way other realtors can see your listing, promote it to their clients. But if the data is not in there correctly, then your property is not going to be exposed as much as your client would like to. And I think clients have that poor understanding and awareness of it's not just like a smack on the MLS.
Right. Well, let's talk about something else. Security, danger. This is not a safe job.
No, it's not. And as a woman, it's very high risk because you are going into empty homes. Some areas are great, some areas are not, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still dangerous.
A couple of Christmases ago, there was an agent that happened to be waiting for a photographer to take pictures of a listing. This was across the street from my office. This was around the block from my mom's house, okay? And she was waiting for the photographer to show up. And while she was sitting in the driveway, a disgruntled tenant that had already moved out, thought she was the owner, came up and shot her in the head.
Oh my goodness.
That was Christmas Eve. I think that was 3 years ago.
See, you can't ever take too much precaution, but because
She was sitting in the car,
you
though.
just don't even know.
She hadn't even gotten out. She was just waiting for the photographer.
But hey, we get paid way too much. Our lives are on the line.
That was
half
a
of the time.
rental.
Yeah. Our lives are on the line half of the time, and people don't recognize what we had to go through. I think I even got in a stalker once, calling me with very vulgar things. And I think when maybe I got him at an open house. Who knows? You always have to stay on the lookout when you are operating as, I think, a woman who is always by herself. It's vulnerable, to be honest, when you think about it.
Well, so that is the good, is sometimes we do make friends.
And we make great friends.
Yeah.
You can have a great support system, especially if you align yourself with great people that actually want to see you thrive and grow. You can make money. I mean, just like you can make money in any job, it is also what you put into it. It's also your perseverance and your fortitude. But it takes a lot of hitting the walls.
Right. And I think that's what's important for people to hear is that it looks so glamorous. My favorite saying is always, it's flexible.
Yes.
It's a flexible job. Who's it flexible for?
I don't know, because it's not for me. I don't stop.
So I've been trying to get workers to come do work, right? Nobody wants to work on the weekends. Yet, as a realtor, that's not optional. That's factual.
Yes. And I also feel like you also have to work based on your client's hours, which could be after technical work hours, 5 and 6, but a contract needs to go out. So you have to take time out of your family dinner and maybe kids' soccer games because they need to do a showing because that's when they're available. So as far as the flexible schedule, I don't see it for me.
No, I don't think it's flexible. Well, we're going to go to commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to continue to talk about should you be a realtor or should we get a day job?
At JK Closing Attorneys, we do all of the same things that a title company does, but with the benefits of being a law office. We can help with residential real estate, short sales, commercial real estate, refinances, 1031 exchanges, and FRIPTA withholding.
Contact JK Closing Attorneys today at 954-332-3111. Again, that is 954-332-3111.
Priority One Credit Union of Florida is a welcoming credit union that makes your financial success our #1 priority. We offer lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and common sense local loan approvals, with nationwide access through shared branching.
Hi, I'm Dina Hennessy, President and CEO at Priority One Credit Union. We are open to the community. Anyone can be a member of our credit union, and we would love to have you.
Contact us today at 954-335-5100. You can also reach us at PriorityOneFL.org. Your financial success is our priority. That's 954-335-5100.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Making Money with Laura Sanders. I am your host, Laura Sanders, and we're sitting here talking about real estate. Amanda's had her license for several years, but she's just now getting into the crux of it and really just starting to put all of her focus on being amazing. Now, some people like myself, I have children. Mine are almost grown. I'm almost an empty nester. And she has her mother who's older in age and she feels like she needs to be there, take her mom to doctor's appointments.
Yes.
So there's other responsibilities in life other than just
Being so on demand with real estate.
right.
Yeah.
So my thing is that would you say, is it worth it? Or would you say, let's get a regular job? I think that's a catch-22 there, but
that is a double-edged sword. I think catch-22 is a great way to say that. I don't know. Personally, juggling your personal life and my mom's doctors, as you mentioned, real estate has allowed me to be there. Like if I was working for corporate America and I needed to ask my boss to be gone every once a week, twice a week, just to tend to the doctors, I don't know if I could really hold down a job. I think eventually a boss would just say, this is enough and not working for you. So it is nice because I also sit in the waiting rooms and I'm punching out emails and contracts.
okay. So when we talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, have you seen, I could tell you my ugly. What's the ugly that you've seen so far? General.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Where do I begin? I don't know. The lack of respect for realtors is definitely there. And they don't understand all the work we have to put in, which we've also discussed that already ad nauseum. The grind, the fortitude that you need when you don't make money, you need to find the mental strength to keep pushing through to get yourself to your next goal. That is like the ugly for me.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense. You know, what I could say is if you continue the grind, like if you put the work in, I do believe that the money will come.
Yes.
And it then starts to build quarters. Like it just keeps building up and up and up.
Yes.
And in the end, you know, you feel like,
I did it.
yeah.
And you don't even realize you're doing it half the time.
Right.
I think everything with real estate is very much hindsight, especially when you get people referring you a year or 2 years later, and it could have been just a rental.
I
that
was
you helped them.
excited the other day when I asked them, can you tell me how you got me? And they said ChatGPT. And I was like, that's amazing. I love it. Because ChatGPT will take over Google.
Yes, I think it already has. I mean, I looked you up on ChatGPT
When?
before I came to you.
Oh. Well, Chat knows more about me than my husband does. Well, it was funny. So my husband and I one night were in bed, right? And I was like, ask ChatGPT about me. And ChatGPT told my husband all about me. So then I was like, ask ChatGPT about my husband. And they're like, I don't know who he is. Like, who is this guy? Like, it should say, Michael Cochran is the husband of the
Laura.
magnificent
Yes.
Laura Sanders.
The Wonder Woman of real estate.
And by the way, in my archives, there is a what's it like to be married to Laura Sanders? And he was very, very nice.
I mean, I'm sure it's fun. I'm sure there's never a dull moment. You're never boring. So, you know, I could tell you what it's like to be married to you. As far as the uglies, honestly, back to that,
It's just frustrating sometimes.
It's frustrating when
to
you-
not be respected.
to not be respected, and then on top of that, I don't get my money. It's not guaranteed. When you go to corporate America, you might not be respected by your boss. But guess what? You're still getting your check. So you swallow all the crow.
It's true. And if you think about it, like, so I know a customer recently had said, oh, getting paid $20,000 is ridiculous. And it's like, if I spend just on video, pictures, aerials, $800, $1,000. Now, I didn't make 20. That's what he paid. Right off the bat, I'm taking my 1,000 off.
Yep.
And by the way, my brokerage is taking off the 20, not
Yep.
the 19. My brokerage isn't taking in consideration that I spent that. Now I'm doing property boosting. Now, a lot of people don't know what property boosting is, but property boosting is when you're taking and you're paying money to a service to get leads to come in, to get it to go out to other avenues to get more people into the property.
Yes, it's basically the sponsored ads that you see on Facebook, Instagram, whatever platform you're using. It reads up people's cookies, so that way it gives more exposure to your property.
Right. And I wouldn't say that we're really getting leads for ourselves. I would say it's bringing exposure to the property.
Yeah.
It's really not helping us.
No.
It's helping the property. So you have that. And then again, yes, the brokerage. Then I got to pay the IRS and oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, because we don't
I have to
pay
pay for my
taxes.
gas, my car payment, my mileage, like all this
Your
stuff. Like,
insurance.
oh yeah. I'm even 2 years old. I have 35,000 miles on my car.
Yeah, the miles that you accumulate in a day, let alone a week, is asinine. I can't believe.
Can we say that on the radio?
It is. It's pretty. You drive a lot in real estate. You live in your car. So I highly recommend anybody who wants to get into real estate, please invest into a comfortable car.
Oh yeah.
Because if it's not comfortable and if it rides like crap, you're just not going to enjoy your day.
It is important to have a comfortable car. It's true. You really need to have a nice car.
Like if you want to listen to your podcast on the road or your music to like debrief yourself. I mean, get yourself a nice car with nice speakers and like seats or whatever, because you're in your car all day, every day,
Yeah.
from morning to night.
It's true. So if you're thinking about buying or selling, we can definitely help you. You can give me a call at 954-650-0827. You can also check us out on the web at laurasell.com. Myself and Amanda, and we also have Jordan. So we have a little diversity. We're a great team.
We are a great
We
team.
get along well, which is always good.
Yes.
And I wanted her to come here today so she could kind of share with you what it's like to start in the real estate business, the good, the bad, the ugly. Because listen, nothing's ever perfect. No job's perfect.
If I can give anybody, I actually had a friend in Georgia wanting to get her license. And I said, just find the best school with the best ratings. And then after that, my best recommendation is find someone that is a good team leader that's going to mentor you. My best thing I did in my real estate career was you.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope that stays. If not, I'll just bring back this show and say, check this out.
I've learned.
I heard somebody say suck up in the audience, right? But realistically, it is important that there's a psychology to it.
Yes. And I think you need someone that's going to teach you that.
Yeah. And I don't know if everybody knows on the show, I am a licensed mental health counselor. I do have a degree in psychology. I have a master's degree from Nova Southeastern, undergrad from FAU, which my kids call find another university, but but you have to listen. I'm a New Yorker. I'm emotional.
Yeah, you're very passionate.
And that's it. It's not a bad passion. It's a passion that I love. But sometimes when you come, because for some reason I think like you have New York in you, because maybe you're from Miami and it came in like some other way. I have no idea. But sometimes if you just stop for a minute and think about everything and say to yourself, I know I'm upset because maybe a client doesn't want to pay a certain amount of money or this is happening, but maybe you're only selling a condo that only makes $1,000 or $1,500 where you still can make $10,000, but even though you're getting paid less, you have to look at the benefits.
Yes.
The growing, the marketing.
The marketing. I mean, also, I think when a client sees that you stick with them through their uglies, like, my client that I lost their deal because of the cast iron pipes and the seller didn't want to fix it. She's like devoted and diehard loyal to me because I'm going through it all with her. So she's like, you know what? You're taking care of my mom. You're finding her house. I think when you stick through everything, you'll build your clientele base.
And I think just by talking and hearing and understanding, I think that's helpful too. So although it can be frustrating at times, the good is sometimes you make great friends. The good is we do get paid. We don't always get paid. So when you get paid on one deal a lot, there's several others that you didn't get paid at all. Yep. When you lose a listing for some crazy reason, you might gain somebody else's listing where another agent lost it. So you have to look at all the different things that happen and why they happen and understand that it's all part of growing. And realistically, there's always a reason. God always has a reason why things happen the way they happen.
I think with any job, there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
You just have to ask yourself if you're willing to do the cons for this job, because if you can't do the cons for this job, then it's not for you.
Yeah. And I know that, I bet you have your mom in the back as a cheerleader.
I have a lot of support.
Except for when you take the car all day and you're gone.
Yeah, right? I do have a lot of support. I have a lot of people and friends rooting for me. I have my own self that I need to root for, though.
Yeah. So if you are Amanda's friend and she's going to let you, make sure that you've seen her episode, she's going to basically say, send me your buyers and sellers.
Yes, send me your buyers, your sellers. If you even have anybody that wants to rent, I'm here. Let me know.
And what's a good number for them to reach out to you?
754-271-5694.
Okay. And like always, if you're looking for a top agent and you're not sure who to call or why to call them, ChatGPT says you should call Laura Sanders with RE/MAX Direct at 954-650-0827. And like always, I appreciate everyone listening to the show every week and the support. And just know that you never want to make a move without me.